Now, the red blends. So domestic red blends have become one of the fastest growing wine categories in the United States because they're approachable, affordable, and easy to drink, and they require a lot less regulation to call them. That is indeed a red blend. So New World wines are labeled as they please. Being simply labeled red blend allows you to do kind of whatever you want and keep prices low and circumvent preconceived notions of particular grapes. I don't like Merlot. Thank you, Sideways. Which actually, when everyone started hating Merlot, Joe Wagner of Thule brought it up and said that when everyone hated Merlot, everyone wanted Pinot Noir. And so it really helped him with his sales. So red blends by their nature are chasing flavors rather than demonstrating a specific year or location. So winemakers create red blends and given freedom to do whatever the heck they want. Many red blends are in different barrels of fermentation, like whiskey, tequila, and rum barrels, which are always kind of awesome. Because they're lower standard regulation, you can have some really, really bad ones that make your head absolutely ache in the morning. Menage a trois. The fun of red blends is that they can be so many different things all at once. Apothic.
We'll take care of that cough.
Yeah. Ooh. So it is a Zin-heavy red blend. Now I couldn't get her to actually tell me what the other parts were. I expect just from tasting it, it's probably a little bit of Merlot, probably a touch of Syrah. And there's a lot of Petit Verdot going around the valley, so I think that's probably in there as well. Yeah. Maybe a touch of Cab Franc, but only a touch. So what do you think of that one? It's pretty good, right? Yeah. It's rich, it's fruity, it's hearty, it's bold, it's good. Floorshow. Definitely that raspberry, that boysenberry, that spice. Yes, Jim? So, let's talk about it.
Maybe it was all of it.
So Alison Crowe is the winemaker. There's Nigel, which was one of her assistant's child's plush toys. And she was like, I like it, let's make a wine. And so they did, and they put Nigel on the label.
I wonder it's so weird.
Exactly. So, Alison Crowe has been making wine since 1995 and helped build some of the biggest brands in the industry. Meiomi. So she oversees 20,000 acres of vineyards and has access to the single largest independent supply of premium California coastal wine grapes, period. She has many assistants across 9 different AVAs. So this one technically calls itself a California. And remember, that is a matter of how much percent do you have from certain AVAs. So she's pulling less than 85 from any of those spots. She described that it was mostly Napa from a lot of her holdings, with a bit of Sonoma to get a little bit more of that lighter zest flavor that she was after. But it does technically fit as a red California blend.
Well, the 7 Rings is good.
Yes, yes it is. So she also makes Verrata, which, so she sells the grapes to Meiomi to this day. And she knows which ones are the really good ones and which ones aren't quite as good. And she keeps the good ones and puts them in Verrata. Yes, Jim?
Verrata was on the tasting table tonight, and we made it here.
And how was it?
It was good.
It's good.
Yeah.
Yes. Verrata is a great Pinot Noir. She also makes the 7 Rings. She also makes buttercream all over the place. Big 6, aged in the bourbon barrels. Sundry, which is just a nice Paso Robles red. She makes a whole lot of stuff. She has, what do they call them? The C family of wines, the cream family. It was it started with buttercream, and then it went to the dark berry cream cab, and then the cherry cream Pinot Noir. So she likes her cream families, but legally couldn't call them that. Somebody already owned it, so she calls them the C family of wines. But she's involved in making some of the best wines around. Pretty good, right?
Well, we bought a bottle, but we didn't.
So we didn't get to spend a whole lot of time there, but that was the view from their house, everything they had. They were doing some construction down there, so we couldn't really peruse, unfortunately. These are some of their vines. What was interesting was talking to one of their, the head of their vineyard was, we were talking about the rootstocks, and they had grafted on from old Zinfandel root, grafted on Pinot Noir stock. So, and I was asking him, does that change the flavor? What does this do to it? And he said, no, at a certain point, the rootstock is just tubes for water and nutrient. If you graft it on right, it's not going to change what it used to be to what it is now. It's just passing through. But it's hardy enough that it can hold up against other things. So you would want to use that rather than ripping it all out and planting a whole new thing in. It's all those little defenses you have to put up against all the crazy stuff around.